Today we are going to learn about integers. So integers, we are going to cover addition and subtraction basics. So let's understand what are integers first, okay, before we begin to add them. So integers consist of your positive numbers like 1, 2, your 3, 4, 5 and so on. 0 is neither positive nor negative. It also includes your negative numbers and so on. So integers are nothing but negative numbers, your positive numbers and 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Let's understand how to add integers. Okay, so there are different scenarios. The first case, when you have to add two positive integers, for example 56 plus, because it's addition, plus 20, both 56 and 20 are positive integers. You simply add them. See, both the integers are positive, both of them have the same sign. So whenever you have same signs, okay, same integers, you add them up. So 56 plus 20 is 76. Your answer is 76. One more example, if I take 20, that's a positive integer, plus 30, both of them have the same sign, that is plus plus, so you add them, that is 50. Okay, case number 2, when you have different signs, okay, for example 50 plus minus 20. Now you have two numbers with different signs. See, 50 is positive, no sign means that it is positive, okay, and 20 is negative. So when you have two numbers with different signs, you subtract them, that is 50 minus 20 is 30. Now which sign will come to this number 30? Whichever is the greater number, that sign will come. Now you need to ignore the signs, okay. So 50, here you have 50, here you have 20. Ignore the minus sign of 20 and ignore the plus sign of 50. 50 is a greater number in comparison to 20, and 50 has a plus sign, or it's a positive integer. So your final answer will be plus 30 or simply 30. Now let's take one more example, minus 110 plus 30. Now you have again two numbers with different signs. This integer is negative, this integer is positive. In such a case, when you have different signs, you subtract. So when you subtract, you will get 80, but the condition is the sign will be of the greater number. 110 is greater in comparison to 30. We ignore the minus and plus signs, we only compare the numbers. So 110 is bigger in comparison to 30, and 110 is a negative integer, it has a minus sign. So your final answer will be minus 80. Okay, next example, if I take minus 30 plus minus 20. See, whenever you have two numbers with the same sign, you add them. 30 plus 20 is 50. Because both of them are negative, you put the same sign, that is minus 50. Okay, we'll solve few more questions. Okay, 50 plus 35. Both the integers are positive, both of them have the same sign. Whenever they have same sign in addition, you add them up, that is 85. And the common sign is plus, so it will be plus 85. Okay, next question, 36 plus minus 12. Now you have one integer positive, one integer negative. Simply when you have two integers with different signs, you subtract. So you will get 24. Greater number is 36, and 36 is a positive integer, so your answer will be plus 24. Third example, 20 plus minus 80. You have two integers with different signs, so you subtract. You will get 60, but in this case 80 is a bigger number in comparison to 20, and 80 has minus sign, so your answer will be minus 60. Okay, next example, minus 45 plus minus 20. The answer over here will be, because both the integers are negative and both of them have the same sign, that is minus minus, you add them up. That is 45 plus 20 is 65. But because both of them have a minus sign, or both of them are negative integers, your final answer will be minus 56. We will solve few more questions on addition. So whenever you have same signs, okay, or same integers, for example, both of them are positive, you add them up and put a plus sign. When both of them are negative integers, still you add them and you put a minus sign. But if one integer is positive and the other integer is negative, you subtract them and put the greater number sign. Okay, let's take few more examples. Minus 35 plus minus 30. Now you have two integers with the same sign. Both of them are negative. Whenever both of them are negative, or whenever both of them are positive, you add them up. That is 35 and 30 is 65. Both of them have minus sign, so you just put minus sign. Simple example. Next example, 55 plus 12. Both integers are positive. Both of them have plus sign. So whenever you have two numbers with the same sign, you add them up. So it will be 67. You can either write 67 or plus 67. Third, minus 10 plus minus 50. Both numbers with the same sign, you add them up. That is 60. Common sign is minus. Minus 110 plus 20. Two numbers with different signs. Whenever you have two numbers with different signs, over here one you have 110 as a negative integer, 20 as a positive integer. You simply subtract. You get 90. But which sign will come? The greater number sign. See, 110 is bigger in comparison to 20, and 110 is a negative integer, so it will be minus 90. I hope this is clear. We'll move on to the subtraction of integers. Okay, in subtraction of integers, there are few things you should know, like additive, inverse. So what do I mean by additive inverse? For example, the number is 5. The additive inverse of 5 will be minus 5. Second, the additive inverse of 6 is minus 6. Additive inverse of minus 10 will be 10. So additive inverse is nothing but two numbers, when you add you should get 0. For example, minus 5, sorry 5, you have to add minus 5 in order to get 0. So the additive inverse of 5 is minus 5. Similarly, 6, the additive inverse of 6 is minus 6, then only you will get 0. And if you take minus 10, I need to add plus 10 or 10 to get 0. The other example is 56. The additive inverse of 56 is nothing but minus 56. So when I add 56 and minus 56, I'll get 0. Similarly, minus 12. The additive inverse of minus 12 will be plus 12. You need to understand the additive inverse of 0 is 0. It's not minus or plus. Now let's do subtraction. In subtraction of integers, you will require additive inverse. For example, let's take one example. 30 minus 23. Here you can simply do the calculation, that is 30 minus 23, that is 7. But if you want to use additive inverse, you can do that also. 30 minus 23. Now, in order to change the sign from subtraction, okay, we don't do subtraction in integers, we convert it to addition and then do the calculation. So if I want to convert this minus sign to a plus sign, I'll write plus over here, and I need to take the additive inverse of this 23. So the additive inverse of 23 is nothing but minus 23. Now this is simply addition of integers. You have two numbers with different signs. When you have two numbers with different signs, you subtract it, and the greater number sign comes. 30 is a greater number, so the answer is plus 7. So in subtraction of integers, you always convert it to a positive, you convert it to addition and then you calculate. Let's solve few more questions. So I'll take the number I'll take the number 56 minus 30. So first thing is, whenever in integers you have a subtraction, okay, when you have to do subtraction, first convert it to addition. But the rule is, if you want to convert minus into plus, you need to take the additive inverse of the second number or the second integer, that is minus 30. So the additive inverse of minus 30 is nothing but plus 30. So now it is very simple, it is 56 plus 30. So it is 86. Next question. Minus 110 minus 30. Okay. So minus 110, change this minus sign to plus sign. But for that I need to take the additive inverse of plus 30, that is minus 30. So now it is addition of integers. Now you have two integers with the same sign, both of them are negative, so you add them, so it will be 140. But because both of them are negative, your final answer will be negative. We'll solve few more questions. Let's take 180 minus of minus 40. Now I'll write 180 as it is. Do not do anything to the first integer. Change this minus sign to plus sign. But if you want to change this to minus to plus, if you want to convert it from minus to plus, you need to take the additive inverse of minus 40. That is simply 40. So the answer over is 180 plus 40, that is 220. Second question, minus 110 minus of minus 30. This is the question. Do not do anything to the first integer, write it as it is. Convert this minus sign to plus sign. But the rule is, you need to take the additive inverse of minus 30. The additive inverse of minus 30 is plus 30. Now this is simply addition of integers. I have two integers with different signs. One is a negative integer, one is a positive integer. In that case I need to do subtraction. So 110 minus 30 is nothing but 80. 110 is a bigger number in comparison to 30, so it has a minus sign, so your final answer will be minus 80. Okay, last few questions we'll solve. 86 minus 33. Very simple. 86 plus, we have to take the additive inverse of 33, that is minus 33. Okay, now you two numbers with different signs, you do the subtraction, that is 53. Greater number is 86, so answer is 53. Okay, now there is one more way in which you can solve this apart from additive inverse. So whenever you have minus and minus, it is converted to plus. When it is plus and plus, it's plus. When it's minus and plus, it is minus. Plus and minus, it's converted to minus. Now we will use this. Okay, this implies outside the bracket and inside the bracket. Whenever you have two signs, okay, whenever you have two signs adjacent to each other, you can convert it to the final result, that is this. Minus minus becomes plus, plus plus becomes plus, minus plus becomes minus, plus minus becomes minus. Simply you can remember like this: when you have two signs, same signs, it is plus, different signs, it's minus. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, so the first example is 30 minus of minus 20. Now pay attention over here. I'll just name this as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now pay attention, outside the bracket there is minus, inside the bracket there is, see, outside the bracket there is minus, inside the bracket there is minus. Look at number 1. You have two signs adjacent to each other and both of them are minus. So two signs are adjacent to each other, they are both minus. So this will be converted to plus. So 30 plus 20, the answer is 50. Second question, minus 110 minus of plus 20. Whenever you have such a question, now see, adjacent it is minus and plus, its adjacent is minus and plus. If I see point number 3 is minus and plus is always minus. So 110 minus 20. Now this is simply two integers with the same sign, you add them up, that is 130. Both are negative, so minus. Few more questions. Okay, 50 plus minus 20 Plus and minus is the last scenario, that's case number 4. When you have two adjacent signs, that is plus and minus, you convert it to minus. 50 minus 20 is simply 30. Okay, now next scenario, if I take 50 plus or plus 20. Now both adjacent signs are plus plus. So when they have same signs, it is plus. So it is simply 50 plus 20, that is 70. Okay, one last example. Minus 20 minus of minus 30. You have minus and minus adjacent to each other. Okay, you cannot consider this minus and this minus adjacent. Okay, they are not adjacent to each other. They are basically adjacent, but they are not like simultaneously besides each other. So you only have to consider this adjacent. So minus 20 will refer to point number 1, that is minus and minus is converted to plus. So it's minus 20 plus 30. Now you have two integers with different signs. One is positive, one is negative. In that case you subtract. 30 minus 20 is 10. Bigger number is 30. So answer is plus 10. So you have to remember this. You can either use additive inverse or you can use this signs, okay, to calculate. So here are a few practice questions. 98 minus 23. Second question is minus 23 plus 68. Third question is minus 99 plus of minus 65. Fourth question is 89 minus of minus 56. Fifth question is minus 89 plus 126. Sixth question is minus 89 minus of minus 40. Put down the answers in the comment section, and if you like the video, please like, share and